Chris Smith for Chris Kenny. Welcome back. The aggro over the endless closure of the Queensland New South Wales border, it may sound like a painful, stuck record to many of you, but just like the Victorian border, the Queensland closure is massively damaging to the economy, to businesses, jobs, livelihoods. And it's closed now, don't forget, because 3 Queensland girls made their way back into the state and brought the virus from Melbourne. I'm still asking, how is that the fault of New South Wales? A knee-jerk reaction which makes no sense. But the Australian economy needs those making decisions in the Queensland government to stop wetting their pants at the mere mention of the word virus. Small clusters are what our future will be about. We brace ourselves and we handle it. We trace the contacts. We handle the hospitalisations in the greatest medical system in the world and juggle the 2 major challenges, the virus and the economy. But what further aggravates the public, I reckon, is how recalcitrant governments are, how hypocritical they are, exhibiting a gross amount of elitism. You've got ordinary Aussies, sick and lonely. We've heard many stories about them, suffer immensely because the border's locked down or they've got to go to quarantine. But if you're well connected and cashed up, you'll receive special treatment. Queensland had another classic case revealed over the weekend, with former Jetstar and A2 milk boss Jane Herdlicker being given a free kick to bypass hotel quarantine, despite travelling from our coronavirus capital, Victoria, with her family. Why? Because she has good government contacts, maybe, who knows? And cancer sufferers, as we know, don't. Miss Herdlicker skipped the government-mandated bus. She opted to jump in a limo to her luxury apartment. And this hypocrisy in favour of A-listers stinks. It's gone on throughout the pandemic. The population hate these social divisions. And the same elitism is being practised towards diplomats still. Now, the latest is that New South Wales health authorities are concerned that COVID-19 diplomats exempt from hotel quarantine are a vulnerable gap in the state's virus defences. They're brainiacs, aren't they? Of course they're a gap. Of course it's dangerous to greenlight anyone flying in from abroad. Now, Victoria allowed infected people to roam the street from their hotels. New South Wales is still allowing entitled diplomats to skip quarantine. And who are they to earn such an entitlement? Like, really, who are they? Take a civil servant from Bulgaria. Oh, he deserves it. Why? Because he wears expensive suits and shakes a lot of hands to keep our countries friendly? That's garbage. It was abused earlier this year, you'll recall, in Queensland. A so-called diplomat was given free passage to the Sunshine Coast. He spread the virus. Did we not learn from that? Not in New South Wales. Now, the latest on this front is that 5 members of 2 Indonesian diplomats were diagnosed with COVID-19 after arriving in Sydney 13 days ago. Contact tracers are on the job. There may be no risk, we're hearing, which is great. But we need every contact tracer we can find working on mystery cases and clusters. That's their job. They should not be diverted because of some privilege given to useless diplomats. Now, their freedom of movement under the Vienna Convention, which they cite, that's all well and good, but we're in the middle of a pandemic. And I hope voters are absorbing all of this inconsistency, the incompetence and this elitism, because politicians and some senior public servants need to face a day of reckoning over all of this. Voters deserve competent leaders, not starstruck duds.